You see me worship in church with flags, right? Whenever I didn't know what to do, or I wanted to give up, or I felt lost, sad, whatever it was, I would put on worship music and I would get those flags out and I would worship. So I grew up with a father who was an addict, and I used to be an alcoholic. Whenever I broke up with a boyfriend and I was sad, he'd hand me a beer. Here, this will help. So that became kind of like, I didn't like drugs because he was an addict, but I didn't realize that alcohol is pretty much, addiction is addiction, no matter what it is. I learned to use alcohol as a teenager. If I was happy, if I was sad, if I was mad, but it really didn't become like, it didn't get bad until I went through my first divorce. I've been married 4 times. Ryan is my 4th husband. And all of them were addicts, like my dad. And the cycle just continued. And so the drinking got worse. Alcohol didn't take the pain away. It didn't make things better. It actually made it worse. I was slowly losing myself, you know? And that's the nothing. You start losing who you are. The nothing was consuming me. And so I cried out to God. He gave me help, maybe not exactly how I wanted it or would have asked for it, but I got it. And I started to grow from there. I stopped drinking. I rededicated my life to God. I was growing. My relationship with Him was strong. And then I find out my husband was unfaithful. All of my husbands had been unfaithful, and my thing was, peace out, I'm gone. I'm used to walking away. And since I gave my life to the Lord and I was growing in my relationship with Him, I didn't want to do the same things I did before. I prayed. And I said, okay, Lord, you know what I want to do. You know what Amy wants to do. But this time, I want to do what you want me to do. God said, I want you to love him for me. It was ugly. I mean, I literally collapsed on the floor like a 2-year-old, screamed and cried. I mean, ugly cry. And I said, I will do anything but that. I will do anything but stay and love him. I can't love him. I had to love him. I had to show kindness. I had to forgive. And those are things that are not easy. Emotionally, I was so broken. And then I had to stay and love a man that broke me, broke my heart. And Satan creeps in with shame. And I'm not telling anybody about this. I'm not telling my mother. Nobody's gonna know what I'm going through now. And I was gonna do this on my own. That's what Satan wants, to keep you, in the dark. My mom starts calling me, and I would not answer my phone for 3 days. My mom called again, and I answered the phone. So I told her what happened, And her response was, well, Amy, there are two kinds of men. There are those that choose to continue living in sin, and there are those that choose to seek God and restore the marriage. Thank God your husband is the second. We're not perfect, but we're getting, God is still working on us. But our marriage is good. 13 years, we own a home. I don't have to work. That's good. You see me worship in church with flags, right? And the reason why I do that is through all of this went on for several years. And there were moments where I wanted to give up. There were moments where I wanted to say, okay, Lord, I love you, but I don't want to stay here anymore. I can't do this anymore. Whenever I didn't know what to do, or I wanted to give up, or I felt lost, sad, whatever it was, I would put on worship music and I would get those flags out and I would worship. Worship is not for Sundays. It's not for when everything is going good. Worship is the best when you feel like your world is falling apart. When your world is falling apart and you worship, things change.